Welcome everybody, it's Rusty Money here. This is a channel full of live streams, challenges, let's plays, and more. So I hope you enjoy this next creation. Welcome everybody, it's your friend Rusty Money here. I'm going to show you a how to set up for a off-grid challenge on the following map that you are about to see. So we will first off go to downloadable content, and for this off-grid challenge you will need the North American map called Panhandle Caprock. Here is Panhandle Caprock. It is 146.12 megabytes to install, and it's by Taylor Manross. So you will need this here map to play this off-grid challenge that I'm about to show you how to set up for. Now, I'm also going to show you some suggested mods for the start to this. So to start things off, suggested mods would be for mowers, you will need to possibly consider, if you so choose, you could consider this mower and wrapper with hitch by Dogface. It's 27.7 megabytes to install. Or you may choose this Krone Big M by Micro GT, and it's 14.24 megabytes to install. And that is what it looks like there. And another good suggestion may be this special edition Krone Big GM by Biggins for 14.7 megabytes to install. And here that is. So that is 3 mower suggestions you may want to install for this. Now we will check out a couple other mod categories. We're going to go into trucks here, and I'm going to show you a couple of other suggestions. You may so choose any truck for this challenge as long as it's similar to this type of style, if you will. So similar to like this International CV series by BC Bueller, or like this International CV series tanker by Honor Emery. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it looks like this. Or another one may be, I think there's another one here. Where's it at now? Let's see. I think that might be the only two. I thought there was another one. So those are just a couple of suggestions, but as long as you are along that kind of style, you may choose mods. But I'll explain that further when we get into this. Now, another category to consider is forklifts here. Basically, any one of these forklifts you may choose. So, yeah, we will get into it here. So let's go to career mode. We will select an empty slot. You will set this up by new farmer, and let's select Panhandle Caprock. We will leave it in new farmer. You will put your starting money at $1 million and your starting loan at $1 million. And your economic difficulty is your choice. No starting farm and no guided tour. And let's load in. For this example, we are going to just deselect all the mods and hit start. Now, why this loads in, I'm going to call this the Off-Grid Millionaire challenge on Panhandle Caprock. And you'll kind of understand, I think, why I called it the Off-Grid Millionaire. So you'll select your character. We'll go into the settings first and explain that. So in your settings here, you can choose your own time scale. You can choose your own economic difficulty. Traffic is your choice. Seasons is your choice. All these other settings here, everybody, all of it is your choice. How you wish to play this Off-Grid Millionaire challenge here on Panhandle Caprock. So then we will go to the PDA, and you will see this PDA, everybody. Okay, so on this map there is contracts available, and with the contracts you may borrow equipment. Okay, now there is other productions available, and currently you do not own anything at this point right now. Finances. Right now you have $1 million and $1 million debt, but we're not finished. Okay, so now we are going to go into the equipment that is here on this map. There is starting equipment no matter how you choose to start this map, as much as I tested anyway. So there's a lot of starting equipment even in the shed there. So we are just going to go into the menu like this. We're going to go over to vehicles, and you're going to sell all of this equipment. Okay, after you've sold all the equipment, you should have just over $2.4 million. So now you're going to do the following. In the PDA here, you are going to buy plot 1. And you are going to sell everything here on plot 1. You're going to sell the farmhouse. You're going to sell the farm barn. You're going to sell large glass greenhouse. You're going to sell large mushroom greenhouse. You're going to sell large petrol tank. You're going to sell large farm silo. You're going to sell this here shed. And you're going to sell this here shed. All of that should sell no problem, as I am on PlayStation, so on console. So everything there sells. Now, you will then sell this property. So then you will click back on 1 and sell the property. And then you will scroll or hover down here to this icon, and you will buy the biogas plant for 1.5 million. You may visit the biogas plant, and then you own this here biogas plant. And what you cannot do is you can't sell anything on this property right here, including this shed. You cannot sell that shed. Okay, can't sell any of that unless we discover that it does not work throughout this challenge. All right, so then you will buy plot 67, which surrounds the biogas plant here, for 388,000. Buy. Okay, and so now if we scroll over to farmlands, you will see that you own all of this property right here, and every little bit of it you can do what you want with, basically, except for you can't sell any of the structures at the biogas plant. What I guess I would allow for you to sell at this biogas plant would be this fence, if you want to sell the fence, because I believe you can. So if we enter demolition mode, you can see you can get rid of the fence. So if you do wish to sell the fence, I will let you sell that fence for whatever reason, but you can't sell the shed or the silage bunker over there, or this biogas plant. All right, so then with this remaining amount of money so far, what you are going to do then is the following. You will buy and place a house, 1 shed, and 1 fuel point, and all 3 placements must come between a value of $85,000 to $90,000 spent. So for this example, we're going to put down a farmhouse right here, and I'm gonna put it in here at approximately right there. Okay, and then we're going to put in a shed. We're gonna put this in here. Like so. Okay, so right there we spent about a little over 30,000 for the shed. and a little over 55,000 for the house. Okay, and then you are going to go into containers and you will get yourself a fuel point and place that wherever you wish on your property. This is just an example, everybody. So then, if you wish, you can improve your property by spending your money for a little landscaping. And we'll go into painting here. And we will paint this then. For example purposes, we'll put in a little walkway over to our house. Put dirt in there. Okay. And then what we will do with the remaining amount here of somewhere over 787,000, you will then buy a mower. And you must buy either this in-game mower right here or any of those modded ones that I showed you. So the value should be somewhere between 350,000 to 468,000, and you can customize it as you wish. So we'll buy this. And then you will buy a truck. Such as this example here of a value of between like 67,000 to $90,000 is what could be spent. 67,500 to 94,000, excuse me. 67,000 to 94,000 can be spent on a truck similar to this. Now you can also use one of the other modded trucks that look like a Chevy or a Ford or whatever pickup truck, as long as you just have something similar to this, and spend anywhere from 67,000 to 94,000. Okay, so we'll buy this. And then you need to buy a chainsaw. And after you buy a chainsaw, you will buy a forklift. Oops, wrong direction, I think. Isn't a forklift? Oh no, that's up here. So you can buy either one of these forklifts, whichever one you choose. For this example, we'll just buy this. Okay, and then you must utilize this other portion of your remaining money to also buy one small tractor. And you must, let's say, spend anywhere from, you know, a reasonable amount of money anyway, everybody. A reasonable amount of money. So like for this example, we're going to go with this one. All right, and we'll increase that to 140 horsepower. And we will, let's see, put a quickie loader on it and buy it for 123,000. Okay, so now you've got like $72,997 or so. So we'll jump up here, and this piece of equipment you can leave up here at the store if you wish. That's what it's for, is basically for your store use. And then the rest of this equipment here and whatever you choose to use with the remaining money you have, you can move that equipment to your farm. Okay, so let's travel over to our farm. So now you should have, you know, somewhere close to $72,000 if you are being really reasonable with your money for this challenge. Okay, and so let's see, we should be able to go, I don't even know for sure, but let's go this way. Now, we have a number of goals in this challenge, okay? You know we have $1 million debt, right? So you're gonna have to pay the $1 million debt off. Okay, and then there is no additional loans in this challenge. No additional loans. But what you can do is lease equipment. And you can only lease 3 pieces of equipment at any one time. So the most equipment you can have on lease is 3 pieces of equipment. That is it. Alright, so you own this property here, and again, you can't change this property. You can't sell any of what's on here except for the fence. Now, you can place other objects on this biogas plant property if you so choose. But now you have all of this ground here that you own that you can do what you wish to do with, okay? Now, besides paying off your $1 million debt, what else do you have to do in this off-grid millionaire challenge? Well, you have to do the following. You have to buy plot 68 here for $718,000. And you technically have to buy that before you purchase the home farm, which the home farm is $227,000. And then once you buy the home farm, you have to buy and place a house, buy and place 1 silo, and buy and place 2 sheds, and buy and place 1 greenhouse, and add whatever else you so choose to this farm yard. And then the remaining part of the challenge is to buy plot 2, plot 3, and plot 4. Okay, and then if you want to go for the ultimate goal in this challenge, then that would be to earn $5 million after you have all of that complete. That is why it's called the off-grid millionaire, because not only that, but you are in debt $1 million and you start with $1 million business as the owner with a little bit of a struggle, because you did own the farm at one time and the bank foreclosed on you and sold all of the structures to pay for your debt. And so now you got to pay the bank back by proceeding through this off-grid millionaire challenge like I have discussed here with you so far. So, who's up for becoming the next off-grid millionaire here on Panhandle Caprock? Please, I sure hope that you enjoyed this new challenge creation by your friend RustyMoney. And I will further say that I'm not sure if or when I will get to this challenge myself. But I've had several viewers like yourself ask about an off-grid challenge for FS25. And so here is one of the very first ones. Now there's a couple other maps in the mod hub that I might also make an off-grid challenge for, but here is your very first off-grid challenge, and I hope you enjoy it. So please, make sure that you drop a tasty treat on that like button, which is better known by myself as a cop battery and by you all people as delicious donut. Don't forget to leave us a comment in the comment section, and please share a box of donuts with all your friends and family by sharing the videos and the live streams from the channel. But from myself, RustyMoney, we will see you all on the flip side. Have a good one. Thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and comment.